Greetings, magical souls. I've just come on today quickly to share some updates, the changes that I'm going to be making. What I have decided to do is my Patreon at the moment is absolutely exploding. And I think the reason for this is that a lot of us are getting tired of the noise and we're getting tired of the distractions. As most of you know, I had to start up a separate channel last year because I could no longer choose whether or not or where adverts were going to go in my healing containers and things like that. So it seems to be just getting noisier and noisier out there. And I know that those of you who this resonates with will know what I'm talking about. Now, I wanted to come out and say this because it's going to affect the way that I do certain things. So the last time I did a live here on YouTube, even though my eyes were closed during the initial part of the activation that I was trying to do, I could feel energies coming in. And every time I felt something coming, I opened my eyes and there was a comment on the screen that was weird. I can't explain it. It just felt weird and it felt off. And so what I've decided to do is about 6 months ago or so now, I think it was then, Patreon launched a live streaming service as well, which is just like YouTube. So people can interact in the comments and it can be a live stream and all that. But what I love about Patreon is that it is a quiet space. It is not like YouTube. You're not getting ads. And if you're just like, I'm just subscribed to Infinite Source Creations. And so when I go in as a user on Patreon, I only see his stuff. I don't see a million other things being advertised and vying for my attention. And that's what I really like about Patreon. It is a quiet space. So if you're only subscribed to 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people, that's all you see. You don't see all the other stuff. There's no adverts. So there's no noise there. And it's interesting that I thought I was going to, I put that on the back burner about 2 years ago when I had something like 22 members on there. And now I've just hit 178. It's just been growing and growing and growing. And I've actually got more paid members on there than I had paid members on YouTube. And that's why I've just taken away my YouTube membership as well. I just feel like it's getting very, very, very loud. So that's not to say that I'm getting off YouTube. I'm staying on YouTube, but I wanted to let you know that I'm going to start moving some of my more sacred content onto Patreon. Now, I know that it's another app for some of you, and maybe you don't want to do that. You want to have less apps, but certainly the choice is yours. I was going to do some of my live activations here on YouTube because I have a couple of things that I'm being called to do this year. After the last live on YouTube, I don't feel like that's the right space to do this in. If I cannot keep the space that I'm holding sacred and enclosed, I don't feel that it's fair to expose anybody else who's with me in that container to those kinds of energies. And, you always get trolls and things like that are coming through and just causing shit. So what I'm going to do is all my live activations that I'm wanting to do this year are now going to be done on my Patreon live. So what I will do is the link to my Patreon is in my bio, but I will put a link in this video to my Patreon. And if you'd like to go and join it, there is a free membership on there. So you don't need to pay, but then I've got 3 tiers of memberships as well, of paid memberships on there as well. And some of the activations I'm going to do on the free tier, other activations are going to be on the paid tiers. And then what Patreon also allows me to do is if you don't necessarily want to be a paid member, you can actually purchase one activation. You can buy it. So it's got quite a nice platform or whatever. As I say, I don't have to worry about ads. There's no noise there. I know it's an extra app, but it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But that's where I'm going to start doing my live activations. I've been thinking about this since my last live. And all of a sudden this morning, I went to the beach. I put my feet in the water, and then I was sitting there journaling. And all of a sudden I just had, this is how I need to do it, because I've been going, how do I do these lives when I don't like the energy? And the thing is that I can switch off the comments, but switching off the comments, I'm still exposed to that energy. So, yeah, it doesn't feel aligned anymore. It just feels like things are shifting. And I'm also, for those of you who may still be following me on Instagram, I am deleting my Instagram account today as well. I've stayed on there because Brains are still working with me on some of my articles that I wrote last year. But I don't need that anymore. If you guys want to read my articles on Brains and whatever, you can go and find them on Brains. I don't need Instagram to do that. Instagram is also just becoming a shit show, and there is so much negative stuff on there. And I'm finding that I'm really wanting to just, I don't want to be exposed to that. It's not that I'm bypassing it. I know it's going on, but I do not want to focus on it. I want to focus on the energies and the world that I am wanting to create and that I am wanting to bring in. That is what I want my energy being on. And I feel like some of these there's a lot of negative stuff going on in the world at the moment. And I feel like a lot of that is just actually causing even more and more and more division between us. And I also feel like sometimes my energy is being siphoned. So, because every now and again I will get stuck, and then I find myself getting enraged, and then I've got to go, what are you doing, Em? Like, what are you doing? Why are you giving this energy? So I'm pulling the plug on these things. I am getting off them. So I am now going to be on YouTube and Patreon, and that's it. I will not be doing any more live streams here on YouTube. Those will all be on Patreon. So I'm going to start getting a little bit more active on Patreon. I have people that have been with me since I started Patreon, I think now nearly 3 years ago. And we're building a really beautiful community there. So, and this community will still stay here. So what I might do is any new containers I have for animals, all that sort of thing, all going to be on Patreon now. And for a little while, I'm going to share, I think I'm going to share certain things. So for those of you who might be on my Patreon as well, I'm going to start also posting some of my YouTube videos on Patreon, because I know that a lot of people don't really want to come over to YouTube all the time anymore. So I'm going to try and get the best of both worlds. I wanted to thank you all so much for your support and your comments. And I've gotten to know so many of you. So many of you that follow me here, I know that a lot of them are probably not real subscribers and real people and what have you, but the ones that I do know, I know you're always with me in my live events. I've gotten to know you. It's just, this journey is fabulous. And I'm really hoping that as we build more and more and more community, strong community, real community that isn't half bots and things like that, that it's just going to, all we're going to do is just anchor in more and more and more of New Earth and more of that energy that we all want to bring in. So I will see you on here. Nothing really is changing here. I just really wanted to let you know what my intention is, how I see this moving forward, that if you do want to do any live activations for me, you will need to go and subscribe to my Patreon. You'll need to become a member there. And as I say, you can become a free member. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you all for being here, and wherever you are, wishing you a magical day further.